Hey, have you ever wanted to test a .NET API or .NET website with a front-end test and realize that it's not really easy to do in Visual Studio? I'm here to show you how I handle that kind of situation. So come on, join me in my Visual Studio and let's see how we do this. All right, so we are in my Nimble Pizza project. The link to this repo is going to be in the description of the video. But what we have here is we have a simple Blazor website. And then we have our front-end tests. Our front-end tests are using Playwright, just so you can see under the covers. Nothing fishy. I'm checking to see that my homepage updates the coming soon text when the order now button is clicked. So what does this look like, just so you can see the site in action? So notice when I press play, so we're running on localhost 7007, and we have this welcome to Nimble Pizza coming soon. When I click order now, it says not open yet. Looks okay. Now, I want to run my front-end tests, but if you look in Visual Studio, I go to test. That run all tests is grayed out. That does me no good. If I go to Test Explorer, you'll see that there's a stop there, but that's going to stop this whole situation. Well, I could come to my command line and do a .NET test. The problem with doing it this way is now I have the app running in the Visual Studio UI, and I have my tests running in a command window. So now I'm switching contexts, and that can be painful at times, especially if you have a lot of other distractions around you. Okay, fine. Well, that's not what I want, so let's go ahead and stop this. What about running it using .NET Run? You might be like, well, but Sarah, we can do this. So let's do this. .NET Run. This is nimbblepizza.blazor. nimbblepizza.blazor. I always forget. I need to do the -- project. At the end of this, I'm going to do -- launch profile HTTPS. That way I know exactly what URL I'm going off of. This is awesome for that, but I don't get the control of the command prompt at this point. So now if I want to run .NET test, I have to come to developer command prompt and do .NET test in a separate command window. At the end of the day, trying to juggle this kind of thing is tiring. It's exhausting. I'm in which terminal window and I did what? And of course, this test didn't pass yet because it probably didn't load. So we shall see. See, there it goes, it passes. But again, I have this in two different windows. Well, that's not good. So if I come back in here, and Control C, okay, I've killed that process. But I don't like managing having to go between my terminal window and the UI or multiple terminal windows. There's got to be a way to do this where I can run my .NET Run things in the background. Background processes are beautiful for things like this. Well, I found a tool. So we're going to clear our screen here. We're going to do .NET Tool, install. You may need a -- global if that's how you run your things. And this is called DotnetBackground. Press enter. You'll see on my screen it was reinstalled, but for you, this will actually install the DotnetBackground tool. What DotnetBackground allows us to do is it allows us to run our .NET commands, so like the .NET Run command, as a background process. So then I can do, instead of .NET Run, I can do .NET-Background run -- project nimbblepizza.blazor and the launch profile of HTTPS. Press enter. This is running in the background. Notice that we have a process ID, so we can see, hey, this is what it should be doing. So now I can run my .NET test in the same terminal window. And you should see here that they passed. Now, .NET Background did start the process. In order to stop it, it's .NET Background space kill. Enter. And that kills the process. If I can do this all in one terminal window, then you know what else I can do? I can automate this. So in my repo, you'll notice that there's this batch script called test all. So when we do test all, you'll see that I have the installation, the .NET Background, the .NET test, and the kill. This makes it a lot easier for me to run my tests against my front end without having to juggle between. Now, you might be like, but Sarah, that's PowerShell, and that's the command prompt. What if I actually had a shell script, like a git bash? I have a test all.sh for that. For that, you don't need .NET Background. You can do your .NET Run. Remember, from those kind of shells, the ampersand allows you to set your process as a background process. So you can set that to run in the background, do your .NET test, and then in the end, look for the process ID and pass it over to kill. So this is what happens when I want to run my front-end tests against the .NET site and want to do this all in one terminal. I hope you found this helpful, but if you have any questions, please leave a comment and we'll hopefully be able to help you out. Thank you for watching.